time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Thanks for being with us here today. It is nice to have you along the midweek edition. Hump Day, all downhill from here. Actually, you got through Hump Day. Just got Thursday, which is practically Friday in this day and age. And then, Friday, it's just an entree into the weekend, right? Am I right? The one and only Philip the Ref Pilkington is alongside. Which intern do we have today? Mr. Pilkington here DeMarco, who did a great job.
Do it live!
The other day reading things.
Do it live!
A little louder there, DeMarco. Thank you. All right. So, Pilk, I got up this morning pretty early. It wasn't one of those deals where I woke up and I, was struggling to get up or the alarm awakened me and I jumped out of the bed. None of that. I got up, pretty good start to the day. And I almost had too much time because I was screwing stuff up left and right, I learned later. But anyway, I always do kind of the social check. Because you want to know going into the day if the world's coming to an end or if something's happened and you need to know about it.
Of course.
I think that's what we're all programmed to do in this day and time, right?
Got to check the weather.
Not the first. Yeah, it's not the first thing I do. I ask the Echo, is there, what the temperature is, so I can get a feel for. But yes, you're right. You always want to kind of know. So, what is interesting to me is I had like a bunch of notifications, and I thought, okay, well, what is this? And then I noticed 94.3 The Game had a bunch of notifications. Inevitably, I noticed that 103.7 Talk of the Town had a lot of notifications on social. I thought, whoa, what's going on here? Well, a call to action was put out last night about the legislature currently drafting plans for how to distribute money from the sports gambling revenue. Of course, we've covered this back in March. And I was literally, you know this, I was literally on a call minutes before we took the air here.
We were a little worried that it was going to be the DeMarco and Pilk show. Because the phone call was so long.
I had to have a quick phone call with one of my Politico sources up in Raleigh. And so I was talking, I talked to one earlier today when we first sort of linked up for the show. And they told me, what they told me was, that there is indeed these sort of ongoing behind the scenes negotiations. And it seems like that there's going to be a budget in September or October. And they feel like that the sports gambling revenues will be addressed because it's revenue coming in, and it's money that has to be addressed by the state government, by the state legislature. Okay. Well, I just got off the phone with someone who said, they're coming back in late August, that you could see this be one of those mini budgets that they just recently signed. But there now seems to be maybe not quite the appetite to put 25 million or whatever the number is. 12, what was it? 12 million? Wasn't 25 million. It was more like 12.
12.
Yeah. But, put that amount of money. Maybe it was 20 million. I thought it was closer to 20 million. Anyway, putting a significant amount of money into the coffers of NC State and North Carolina. Of course, we know those two institutions want their fair share of that gambling money. Right now, they're not getting anything. And then there's a movement to have East Carolina, App State, and Charlotte, receive the same amount, the equal amount of money that they're getting North Carolina and North Carolina State. And I think that's the way it ought to be. Now, we've talked about this. The other part of this is, do you attach that okay, if we're going to let North Carolina State and North Carolina be involved in this, they have to play Charlotte in football and ECU in football and App State in football. And then, they want to roll basketball in there. And, of course, we know East Carolina basketball, for example, this year is playing a game the Monday before Christmas in Chapel Hill. So the person I just talked to said, with all of the cuts that are going on right now in higher academia, this all of a sudden is, if it's being done, it's being done covertly. And so that source is working, that source's sources. And then, I'm waiting for a text any moment to kind of, get a real idea of where this is. I only say that to say, if you're doing a write-in campaign, it would seem like now would be the time to do it. And I think you would agree with me too. Certainly North Carolina in Chapel Hill, they want to have some big dollars roll in because they have committed big dollars to something that they always took as a passing fancy till basketball season, and that was football. NC State, the squeaky wheel, hey, we got to get. And I've seen the comments too, well, they get everything. Yeah, they do get everything in the budget. It's the old adage of the pie. You take that pie, you cut it in half, and that goes to Chapel Hill. You take that remaining half and half that, which is a quarter, that goes to North Carolina State, and then the other 14 or whatever it is 14 institutions that are in the UNC system are all vying for their piece of the pie. I also think East Carolina missed the boat when Jason Sane was in there because, money's gone to help with Charlotte's football stadium. And, boy, it'd be nice to have some of that cash on hand in Greenville going towards some buildings. But, still, it is, if you're an ECU pirate, it is life-changing money for the institution here. But as I understand it, it doesn't seem like this is going to come out in the form of a mini bill because it would just, the optics of it, beyond sports, the optics of it would not be great for those in state government. Doesn't mean it wouldn't happen. I think it's going to be included in the more overall budget if it is included. And again, this was the House really pushing for this, as far as the distribution equal to the 5 FBS football playing public institutions in the state.
Yeah, the tough thing here, Patrick, you kind of mentioned use that pie reference, which really did make sense, and that's more of an academia pie reference because
sure, no, it's the overall budget, correct?
Yeah, the University of is going to get more, right? There's just certain board members stuff they have to pay for, and that's how it is in every state. So it's going to stay that way. But as for sports, gambling, you can't do it that way. State and Carolina do have to get the same amount in this thing. We can all sit here and debate the cows come home, whether App, Charlotte, and East Carolina deserve the same. And, at the end of the day, just bringing in sports gambling money is bringing in sports gambling money. The tough thing is how do you determine who's bringing in more than the others? Let's be honest, there's probably being more Duke games bet on than anybody, but they're not part of the in-state institutions, so they're not seeing any of it anyways.
Yeah.
But, the Cooper flag, there were player props and all that kind of,
Right,
look, it was the sexy thing that was being put in your face all the time, right? But for this, look, I understand both sides of this argument. At the end of the day, somebody is going to be ticked off when this is over. And look,
that's
the politicians.
That's a good compromise.
That's a good compromise. Look, the politicians who put it in place are going to be getting. It's not going to be a right versus left or a left versus right thing. It's going to be a haves against have-nots thing, the way things are in sports. And regardless of what side the majority is on at the time, they're just kind of get, shunned for it. But it is what it is, and that's kind of when you start bringing in revenue and you bring it into sports. You kind of have to. That's the one time I guess politics and sports kind of have to cross over, and it is what it is. But let's just at least hope we get a decent share of the pie, and those Tar Heels aren't getting it all.
All right, let's do our 5 at 5.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
All righty. Happy Wednesday, everybody, for our third ever 5 at 5. We're going to start it off with a little Pirate athletics. And head coach Blake Harrell yesterday said that some of the Pirate football players need to get ready if they want to make the travel squad. As you know, it's not a given in college football to make the travel squad. It ain't like varsity where everybody gets to go on the bus. And he called some guys out on it.
You could dress out at home.
Dress out at home, which you might be watching on TV on the road, baby.
Kind of hone in on special teams. It's not, four deep on a certain kickoff team. You're kind of getting down at the guys you think might travel. So you kind of have some, your top spots kind of pretty much solidified, but you got some at the bottom of the roster of guys that may not make the travel squad. And I told them, yesterday, there's two things. Like, one, you better realize everybody does not travel. And we got some guys out there, I don't think they do realize it because their urgency isn't quite there yet. And they better get with it, or they're going to be sitting at the house and watching it on TV instead of being in the stadium and getting to be a part of it. And two, there's some guys over there that at some point they got to get off the bicycle too, and so they can be practiced. They can play college football and they belong here. I told them if they don't, hey, I owe it to the guys that make sure we have guys here that can help us win football games. So just trying to send those guys a message every single day and let them know that we ain't around here just to cruise. Life's not about that. Our program's not about that. We got to push forward. And everything, and it's got to be all 120 guys out there, and every staff member in the building. So, and that's just who we got to be, how we got to play the game, and it's in all aspects of our program.
All right, look, I think that's still in line with what he's talked about all week, and that is really the last several days: energy, commitment, effort. Don't take a play off. You make a play, you got to be ready to make a play again on the next snap. And I don't think that is anything that you should kind of look at and be concerned about as much as I do believe that is just what you would call, his honesty about where things are right now.
His honesty, and it sounds like a lot of these guys just have freshman syndrome. We talk about senioritis in the classroom, but I think sometimes when you get these young guys coming into the program, it's not that they didn't work hard in high school and all that, but, they knew. Look, when there's important reps, I'm going to do them, and then, I know I'm going to be on the field, but it doesn't work that way. You're a freshman again, and there ain't a JV opportunity in college football. This is not the 1960s where there's a freshman team. You got to go out there and you got to earn your spot and earn your spot on the roster.
All right, what we got number 2?
The Pirate soccer team will open their season tomorrow at 2 o'clock inside Johnson Stadium against Liberty. It'll be the first time since 2019 that Maeve English will not be on the Pirate roster as the goalkeeper. So who will be the new keeper? I don't know. Maybe we'll talk to Maeve about that coming up soon.
Maeve will not be between the pipes, but she will be on our show coming up in a few minutes. So, all right, number 3, what you got?
Tom Duncan plans to buy the
Dundon.
Sorry,
Dundon.
Bad typing.
Maybe it was Tom Duncan.
Maybe plans to buy
the heir to the Duncan Hines fortune. Maybe that's what it is.
Plans to buy the Portland Trailblazers.
$4 billion the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes, your Carolina Hurricanes, is paying for the Portland Trailblazers. And, of course, their owner, I think, died, so they're actually buying it from the estate of the owner. I believe that's how that went down. But point is, Tom Dundon's going to own. Now, because social media is social media, there's, a site on there. There's a Facebook page that is out there now rolling out the idea with this commitment to what's going on around the Lenovo Center now that this means by Dundon and whoever that this is going to be set up. It's being set up so the Trailblazers can move to Raleigh. The only reason I would think a team would want to move to Raleigh or anywhere in the East is you want to be in the East if you're in the NBA because the East is so stinking weak. Teams out West want to be in the East. And really the three are New Orleans, if they even stay in New Orleans, Memphis and Minnesota are the ones that are vying to because it geographically makes the most sense, move east. But I don't think the Portland Trailblazers are necessarily going anywhere. I
Look,
think that's
there's one other reason to move, and that's to get the hell out of Portland, Oregon.
well.
I mean, come
Now,
on.
I did see this, and I mean their arena's not terribly old, but I was
No, but
reading
it's in
something.
Portland.
Yeah, I was reading something one night this summer during our hiatus, and it was about stadiums and who's kind of in line to get a new stadium or a new arena expansion, yada yada. And they actually have Portland is one of those because Portland's also rumored to be in the mix of any baseball expansion. Portland would wind up getting this new sort of earthy, state-of-the-art arena that looks like a giant wooden serving bowl. But it's powered, hydro-powered, and all of this. I mean, this was serious. Now, I don't know where Tom Dundon is on all that, but yeah, again, the thing I think this maybe takes Dundon out of
The MLB
is the MLB, yeah. I think this takes which I think was a wing and a prayer to begin with. So I do think that this takes Dundon out of any serious talks for Major League Baseball coming to Raleigh on any expansion.
No.
Interesting though that he would go and buy something in the Pacific Northwest on an entirely different coast. The other thing I would wonder too is he maybe gonna, and again this is just me thinking out loud, is he gonna liquidate his ownership of the Canes?
I don't think so. I mean, there's so many guys. I mean, think about Stan Kroenke, right? You got the Rams. You got all those sports teams that are in Denver. You've got Arsenal, which is in London.
True.
I mean, there's guys,
Well, the Khans. I
Yeah.
mean, Tony Khan. He owns not Tony Khan, Shad Khan owns the Jaguars. They own one of the soccer teams.
Yeah.
And they own one of the professional wrestling leagues.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about, the Fenway Group and all they own now. It's not just the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
All right.
All right. Number 4.
Little League World Series begins in Williamsport. Speaking of MLB expansion, if you wanted more of a reason to go to Vegas, Nevada is currently beating Illinois 16-0. Oh, wow.
There's a team from Irmo, South Carolina. That is the southeastern representative this year. A team from Irmo. So they are from the lesser Carolina, but the Carolinas nonetheless. So there you have it. All right, number 5, Pill.
Shedeur Sanders will not practice the rest of the week. Will most likely miss their preseason game after suffering an injury. He does need an MRI.
Do we know what the injury was or what it's to? Oblique injury. Okay. So it's not a knee, it's not an ankle, it's not anything like that.
Yeah, but that's still – I mean, my point is, do they have any healthy quarterbacks on the roster now? I mean, is Flacco going to have to play in a preseason game? Because when you look at this –
we're going to see Flacco in the preseason.
But they're going to break him. I mean, there's no offensive line to protect him. I mean, they play Saturday, so at least they have till then.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think, Pickett's hurt, Gabriel's hurt, Deshaun's hurt, so that leaves Shedeur and Tyler Huntley and Flacco. So if Shedeur's hurt, I know, but he's going to play all 4 quarters. He might have to. There's
one less game now. These things aren't in the rotation like they were. So, I mean, you might play the guy.
Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley, baby.
Could be. It's funny. I thought they had already, proclaimed Shedeur Sanders as the guy.
The greatest thing since Bernie Kosar.
But look, that's the and everybody talks about why draft. This is why you draft him. You just rattled it off there. Look at all of the quarterbacks that are injured right now. You're going to have with 17 games and the nature of the game now, bigger, faster, stronger at that level. And with the idea they're going to go to 18 games sooner than later, you're going to have you got to have a ton of running backs. You got to have a ton of depth in your organization. You need a quarterback. I mean, we say, oh, the best job is a backup quarterback in the NFL. Well, the days of I'm the backup quarterback and I'm not going to get on the field coming a little less and less.
Oh, it's definitely coming less and less. You do.
You need a capable backup, not just a guy that maybe he's a veteran guy or something. You need a very capable backup nowadays.
You need 2017 Nick Foles out there.
Yeah.
Catching touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
That's what you need. All right, the 5 things at 5 o'clock here on the PJ Show. We'll continue to keep you updated on it all. I'm excited about our next guest. We got our first ECU regular season event beginning of the athletic season and academic year tomorrow. That is Pirate Soccer. We're going to catch up with D.H. Conley alum, ECU all-time great goalkeeper, Maeve English on the Patrick Johnson Show. We'll also get a preview of the season ahead for the Pirates and also find out when Maeve is leaving for Europa. Stay tuned.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Allen, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. You get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. We got a jam-packed show, so let's get started.
Deep breath. Here we go.
One of our favorite guests to have on is one of the all-time greats of ECU soccer, Maeve English, all-time great goalkeeper, joining us here. She is heading over to Greece next week to embark on her professional career. Ria FC, did I get that right? Am I pronouncing that correct? Ria FC keeper or REA FC?
I pronounce it Rhea, but I think you can say it however you want. Yeah,
I'm fine. Rhea FC, the great.
It was a
Maeve
lot
English.
longer than that. When Cole wrote up his thing, he abbreviated, and I went with that because I was not going to spell out how do you say it? Do you know how to say the full name, Maeve?
I don't want to butcher it, honestly. I have tried, and
let's not put Maeve in a bad spot here. She's not even gone over there yet, Pilk. And as long as the name on the check is the correct name, I don't think Maeve cares. So that's or the direct deposit. That's probably how all of that is done. We're going to preview the ECU soccer season, which starts tomorrow afternoon. But let's get an update on what's going on with you, Maeve. You're leaving next week to go and embark on your professional career.
Yes, I am. I'm super excited. I was able to go over there and see the area for the first like 2 weeks of June. Ironically enough, like my family had planned a vacation over there, so we went a few days early, and we got to see like the stadium, and I got to meet the staff because that whole process was kind of done online. So it was really cool to see them in person and get to meet them, and just kind of see what the club's all about and kind of see where I'm going to be. So we got to do that for a couple of days, and then we were on vacation for the week after that. And then, it was just beautiful. And it was so nice to be able to see the area before I actually go over there, because it's pretty common for players in my position to not be able to do that. That was pretty awesome. And then once I got back, I've just been training, and luckily ECU's still been letting me use the facilities and stuff. So I'm glad they're still welcoming me back a little bit. And then I'll be able to see tomorrow's game, and I got to see their exhibition last Saturday, and then I'll see Sunday's game too, and then I'm out of here on Thursday. But yeah, it's been nice to still be around and kind of get all my training in, and just kind of tie up some loose ends and close this chapter. But I'm really excited to get over there and get started and just kind of jump right into the season.
What I can't believe is that why would they not let you use the facility? Come on, you're the all-time great. You're the GOAT. Why wouldn't they let you use the facility?
I don't know. But all I know is I'm not asking any questions. I'm not asking any questions.
I understand. Maeve English back on the Patrick Johnson Show here. So, obviously, visiting and going over on vacation's one thing. Moving over there, lock, stock, and barrel, or at least for the part of the season, is another. I guess when it's one thing to pack for a trip, overseas, or if you're leaving the country, there's things you have to do. Pilkington is a world traveler, by the way, so he knows all this. But when you're moving somewhere, I mean, are the decisions okay? I'm taking this or I'm not taking this, and do you just go ahead and ship stuff over there?
I mean, shipping stuff, I feel like I've looked into it a little bit, and it's probably going to be pretty expensive to get stuff over there. So I'm planning to kind of pack lightly, actually, and just kind of only bring really the essentials, and hopefully just kind of buy maybe a new wardrobe over there. But the team provides all of our training gear, so I really just need kind of like my cleats and other training essentials. And then we're going to be right in preseason too, so it's not really like I'll be doing anything except soccer and just kind of like recovery in between sessions and stuff. So
right.
I really feel like I just probably need some stuff to, like, I guess, explore the area in between sessions and stuff. But I have heard that it's pretty hard to get like I guess like your common like supplements like protein powder and stuff like that over there. So I'm probably going to bring that type of stuff with me, like just my skincare and like that type of stuff. But other than that, I'm just kind of planning to pack lightly and then see what they have to offer over there, I guess.
Well, what an experience. Rhea FC goalkeeper, and it is Maeve English. We're going to talk the Pirates here, I swear, in a minute. But really quick, so you're going over there, you enter camp. How long is the preseason? How long is the regular season there?
So preseason will go until, I believe it's the last week of September. And then they actually haven't released the finalized game schedule yet, but I looked at when they played last season, and their first game was the first week of October, and then it went all the way until around mid-May, and they play kind of on average 1 to 2 games a week in between the regular season. And they also play in a Greek Cup, which is just a tournament that goes on in season between all of the teams in Greece, like through the first and second divisions. So between those games, I'll probably play around 1 to 2 games a week. And yeah, it'll just go straight from the first week in October to mid-May.
Wow. Here you are, a rookie again. We put a picture on our promotional stuff. Our crack staff did when you were like 10. But that was a freshman picture, apparently, and now it's like you're a freshman all over again, Maeve. This is kind of fun in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's exciting to kind of start from square one again in a different environment, and it's going to push me to adapt really quickly. But I think that's the exciting part of the challenge is just kind of stepping into a new, I guess, just kind of environment and trying to build my name up again and develop as quickly as I can. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
Well, Maeve English is with us. We got her on to preview the ECU game tomorrow. They'll start the soccer season. I believe this is the first event, isn't it, Pilk, of the academic or the athletic year, right?
Yeah, first regular season, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow's the first regular season event. Liberty, and they're pretty good. We'll talk a little bit about that. But it's kind of a whole new world. The Pirates are coming off a conference championship, an NCAA appearance. They got a first-place vote in the preseason poll. They're a top 4 team. And obviously they lost some talent, had a change at head coach. So kind of give us the lay of the land right now for Pirate soccer heading into the 26 season. Or 25
Yeah,
season,
I mean, I think you've got a lot of excitement to look forward to. I think, we can look back and say like last season, we really kind of made a name for ourselves with the conference championship and the NCAA tournament appearance. But I mean, the beauty of soccer is that every season is a different group and it's kind of a different story. And I think this one is really special. Like, especially coming into this fall, you've got a couple returners, but it's honestly a lot of new faces, even in the coaching room too. And I'm just kind of excited for them to, just kind of take on this challenge. You've got Emily, who's been here for so long, but she's kind of in a different role. And I think I've always admired her tactical ability. And I think it's really exciting I'm really excited to see how she's going to use the talents of this group to just kind of play against all these different teams. But I think you've got a really good setup going into the season. You've got players with experience and players that have been around for a little bit. So I'm excited to see them in kind of an upperclassman role and take on more of those leadership roles and see how they can lead this group of new faces into defending that conference title. So I think you've got a lot of things to look forward to, but it's going to be an exciting season for sure.
You mentioned Emily. Emily Busilla is the new head coach after spending time on staff for the last few years. You kind of talked about her from a tactical standpoint. What are her characteristics that you feel like will make her an effective head coach? Because there's obviously a lot more than just the X's and O's that you have to deal with as the leader of a program.
Yeah, I think Emily, I feel so blessed that she was able to be at ECU for my whole career, because she's just an incredible person, both on and off the field. And I think that's what makes her so special as a head coach is she's just someone you can't help but root for. And, but I think, on a tactical side, she's really, really good at identifying patterns of other teams. And I think that's why I said, I'm kind of excited for, to see how she uses the players that she has now to kind of, I guess, apply those tactics. And I guess the way I would explain it is she's really good at just, taking these teams each day and week in and week out and realizing where their strengths are and what kind of tendencies they have. And I think what I'm excited for is to see how she uses these players to our advantage. And I guess the right way would be to just kind of I don't know, put us in the right position to be successful. I think she's really good at that. So yeah, I'm just excited for that. I think that's what makes her a good head coach is she's someone that's easy to root for. And she's someone I feel really want to work hard for too. So I think it'll be interesting to see how this group does that.
Maeve English, ECU all-time great goalie, joining us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. The Pirates start their season tomorrow at 2 against Liberty at Johnson stadium. So you can go out, watch the game, and we can talk about it in the post-game setting here at 5 o'clock on the PJ Show tomorrow. All right, let me ask you this, Maeve. You watched the scrimmage the other day. What was that experience like? Were you kind of nervous watching? I mean, I know it was a scrimmage. Or are you more nervous when you're going to get ready to play for the conference championship or in the NCAA tournament?
I feel like I don't know. That's a good question. I was definitely, I don't know. I feel like for the conference championship and for NCAA tournament, I just felt like so prepared in that moment that there wasn't too much to really stress about. Like I was just kind of like, I've done all I can to put myself in this position to be successful. So I've kind of accepted that, whatever happens, happens. So I feel like I honestly probably felt more at ease in those moments than when I was watching the game on Saturday. On Saturday for the exhibition, I was really just I was having FOMO. I just I was jealous of like being on the field, and just that stadium is just the best. And I love that grass. And I was just having FOMO of playing on the field and being able to walk out and like seeing my family in the stands and stuff. So yeah, it was definitely a different experience on Saturday, but it was so weird to just be in the stands. And I didn't realize like I've just never done that in my 5 years. Like obviously I've been to like lacrosse games and stuff, but it was so weird to be sitting in the stands and watching a soccer game, which was just, yeah, I kind of hated every second of it because I wanted to be on the field, but yeah, it was different for sure. I was probably more stressed than I would have been for those other games, but yeah, it was a different experience.
All right, who can for all these years starting in goal is Maeve English. So who's going to be, who are the goaltenders or goaltender that will fill those shoes, and what do you like about their game?
To be honest, I don't know who's going to start tomorrow, but you've got, 3 keepers in the goalkeeping room, and you've got a new goalkeeping coach too in Sydney Hall, who I got to work with in the spring a little bit, and she's new to this position too, but she's a really hard worker, and I know she's putting forth her best effort to make sure that goalkeeping room is solid. But the 3 goalkeepers, and I think what's difficult about being in her position is you've got 3 goalkeepers who have 3 different skill sets, to be honest. Like you've got the transfer Liv from, I think she came from Houston, and she's, got some experience playing at 2 Power 5 schools. And so she brings that element in, and she's kind of an upperclassman. And then you've got Casey Taylor, she's young and she's athletic. And then you've got Michaela, who's been with the program for so long, and she's super competitive and works really hard. But they all kind of bring different skill sets. So I think it's just a matter of what the team needs. And, I honestly say this all the time, but like I would hate to be in Sydney's position because they're just so different. Like it's going to come down to what the team needs and who's going to be the best fit for the other 10 players you have on the field. So I really don't know who's starting tomorrow, but I know that you've got 3 good options, so you really can't go wrong. And I trust that Sydney's going to make the right decision. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see, but I'm happy with whoever's on the field. So we'll see.
Liberty is really good. They were a top 25 program, caliber program last season. They return a lot of starters. So how do you see the matchup tomorrow between East Carolina and the Liberty Flames?
I mean, to be fair, Liberty is a solid team. We were supposed to play them last fall, but it got canceled due to weather. And I mean, that's to return every single one of your starters, especially in this day and age with the transfer portal. Like that is massive. That's a huge advantage to have the team that's already worked together for a whole season. So I'm sure that going into tomorrow, they're going to be really well organized and know how to work together. So I think that'll be a difficult challenge because I feel like I could definitely tell on Saturday at the game, like it is kind of in the early stages of the season, and with so many newcomers, like naturally you're going to have to work out some kinks, like with these players playing together for the first time. So I think it'll be a test for sure in that sense. Like you're playing against a very good, experienced teams. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be a good matchup and it'll be a really good test. But I'm excited to see how the team does.
Maeve, thank you a lot for your time here. We really appreciate it, and we wish you the best as you head over to play for Ria FC in Greece. Best of luck to you as you have your rookie year of professional soccer.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited, and yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Maeve. Great to have Maeve English on. Pilk, how great is she?
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish we could have got her in the studio like we did last time, but at least we got her on video and it wasn't phone. That was good. She's very personable. Yeah. She's gonna do great.
Great young lady. Great representative of Greenville, Pitt County, in East Carolina. And I'm a big Maeve English fan. We'll need to link up with her when she's in Greece.
Well, we need to. It will definitely be. I have her email now, so we can email her there. And
better yet, the PJ Show from Greece.
Let's do it. When we had that author on over the summer, what we're going to do it from Spain with him?
We're going to do it from Spain, yes.
So I think we just need to go over there, do it all in one time. We'll take a bullet train from Greece to Spain.
Double uranium. All right. Come back. Some interesting things said by Pirate offensive coordinator John David Baker, and we'll get into it when we come back.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you. Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Listen up. He's talking now.
Sorry, thought we were vibing.
The Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Okay, let's hear some comments from John David Baker. He was supposed to speak to the media on Monday, but went for his post-practice walk. I guess they're practicing in the mornings from here on out. I think that's going to be a regular season thing as well, Pilk.
That's what Malcolm believes. Yeah, it's kind of what he made it seem like.
That's kind of what I got. I just got some confirmation on that. Perhaps from someone you just mentioned. I'm not going to say though. But it looks like morning practices abound. So after the practice, he went on his walk. Didn't take his phone with him. Probably wise, unless you want to take pictures on your walk.
Take pictures of people driving around Greenville. There you go.
Well, I mean, if you walk by a particularly beautiful tree,
I'm glad you said tree because he's married. Angle. So I was a little worried you were going to say a beautiful woman. It's like, no, Coach Baker's married, man.
No. But I'm just saying you do it for scenery. Or, that's where you put your podcast and you listen to it. But maybe he just wants, it's not his jam. So anyway, we heard from him yesterday. And this is what JDB had to say about one of the areas, running backs, and how time will be distributed among the running backs.
It's what we got to later in the year a little bit, rotating guys, and it's not necessarily by series. It's, those guys, their job is to go as long as they can. And when it's time to get out and let the next guy go. And, that's our way of keeping them fresh in that room is having the ability to roll 3 guys. And, right now, we could roll 4 guys in a game. That gets a little hard because now you're taking touches away from some people that you don't really want to. But like you said, we're that talented in that room, and I feel good about our 3 guys that we can roll out there and spread out touches and keep those guys fresh throughout the game.
Is Marlon Gunn more situational, Pilk?
I mean, at this point, you would say probably, but
yeah,
I think this will be one of those things. The running back position is forever evolving within the season, I think, among rosters, and it comes down to who can block well. And I mean, I just think you feed the hot hand. Give the rock to the hot hand and see what happens.
But I think this offense is better when you have a guy who's capable of a capable home run hitter.
Yeah.
That can break off a big run at any time. I get you got to be able to run the ball. Well, yeah. But Rajay also could run it between the tackles if he had to.
Yeah. Look, trust me, I didn't want to meet Rajay in the hole. I can tell you that right now.
John David Baker talking about how the freshman quarterback are doing so far.
Yeah, they do for sure. And, they get all summer, which is huge because everything gets slowed down. And that's what I love about the summertime a little bit is, they get to get coached by those older guys. They have Raheem, they get Caton to coach them throughout the summertime, and then fall camp, they've been able to progress a lot faster. And it's starting to get to that point again just because we're starting to, get deeper and deeper into the install. But they've done a great job. They write every note you can possibly imagine. Really proud and glad of where both they are.
All right, and one final note here. This is the tight end room. Love the rooms. The tight end room. JDB asked about the depth at that position. We haven't really talked about it a whole lot, so let's hear what John David Baker has to say.
It's nice because they're just so versatile. And, for both of them now, they've been in the system for over a year. And they're getting to see all the different things we can do with them. And, this system has produced a Mackey Award winner. When Coach Kiffin was at FAU, it's had one that was a finalist at Ole Miss first year there in 20. And so if you've got guys like that, like those 2 are, they can get used in some really cool ways. And so being able to do some of that with them has been awesome. And I think those young guys have done a great job as well. Caleb Morrow, coming around, he's kind of talking about breathing through a fire hose. That's him right now. Miles, Stephen Collier, all those guys that are just doing a good job of just picking things up. But those older 2 have done a great job of just all the things we kind of put on them so far.
We're talking there, Pilk, I'm guessing specifically Riles and Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned Miles in there too. Yeah, look, I think, again, it's another one of those things. This offense is going really, really well when it is utilizing the tight end position. It seemed like 2-3 years ago that was being utilized really, really well, and that had kind of gone away a little bit. Last year, it had to kind of feel its way, but you also lost a lot of talent out of that position. And we're not talking just the graduation of one Joe Sampson, Joseph A. Football. No.
Yes, we are.
No.
It's
Yes,
the sole
we are.
reason the room wasn't the same.
But, that's that. So that's all interesting stuff. I think there's some good information there if you know what you're listening for and listen for what you're listening for. So, yeah, I think that's tremendous. All right. Very good stuff, Pilk. Tomorrow on the show, well, we'll tell you about it when we come back here. Patrick Johnson's show on 94.3 The Game, 94.3thegame.com, and the IBX Media app. We'll get you set for tomorrow's big program coming up.
Cash in your trade-in at Greenville Toyota. Get a huge offer when you trade. Then save big on a brand new Corolla, just $229 a month. Or get a Tacoma, just $319 a month. Secure your Toyota now at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Turn your car into cash at Greenville Toyota. Cash in your trade-in today. Then get new Camry just $249 a month. Or drive a new RAV4, $319 a month. At Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
All right, tomorrow on the program, we're going to be joined by our old friend Brian LeBlanc from Canes Country. Tom Dundon is said to be purchasing the Portland Trailblazers for $4 billion is the number I saw. Dundon, of course, is the principal owner of your Carolina Hurricanes. So what does this mean? Well, we will find out when we have LeBlanc on the program tomorrow. Also, Alex Kirshner, who is with the podcast Split Zone Duo. And we're a little more than a week away from Alex having his podcast in a live setting in the Raleigh area. We'll tell you about the podcast festival. He wants to talk some ECU with us, also talk some college football. So looking forward to that coming up tomorrow. the more I think of this Tom Dundon thing, Pilk, the more I think it is, you're right on line with what we were talking about earlier. If you have, certainly the Fenway Group, Stan Kroenke, the Khans that own not just one franchise in one town, but you own them all over. And you're even seeing, I guess there's the stories of some groups that are interested in buying the, MLS franchises or WNBA franchises that have ownership and stuff already. Outside of Kroenke, do you have any other football owners that own multiple things that leap to mind? I mean, I guess Khan with, the team over with soccer.
Yeah, so there's plenty of teams with soccer in the same, location. You think of Tepper, obviously. And now the Hunt family, they've got Dallas in soccer, and then they've got the Chiefs in football. Obviously, the Chiefs used to be the Dallas Texans. But now I think there's something, and now it might not be football, but the guy who owns Liverpool also owns something in Boston. I think he's part owner in the Celtics, maybe, or the Bruins. There's some connection there. And I know that's soccer, but so it's not, crazy thing. The one thing, the monopoly when it comes to sports, man, is Red Bull. You got to think 2 F1 teams. You got the New York Red Bulls soccer. You got Red Bull Leipzig, Red Bull Salzburg. So you've got soccer teams everywhere. You've got a lot of motorsports teams. I mean, that's the big one.
You mentioned motorsports. Michael Jordan, Charlotte, and
2311 Racing.
2311 Racing, yeah. Which is having some of its own issues. All right.
Yeah, buddy. Him and NASCAR. Whew. That's a whole show.
All right. Big thanks to Maeve English for being on with us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Morning time talk of the town, and then back here 5 o'clock for the Patrick Johnson Show tomorrow with a fresh edition. Looking forward to seeing you then. Have a great evening, everybody.